The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series on Speed is brought to you by the official tools of NASCAR, Craftsman. By Aaron's Sales and Lease Ownership. Nobody beats Aaron's, nobody. And by Toyota. Moving forward. Gorgeous day in the Brooklyn, Michigan area. 85 degrees, winds very light, and it is a sunny forecast. Take a look at our Ford point standings after 9 races. Mike Skinner with an 82-point lead over Ron Hornaday. You see the top 3 former champions of this series. 5th is a champion. Travis Pomple, a former champion.
You know, to tell you what kind of year Mike Skinner's had, Ron Hornaday's worst finish this year is 11th, and he's 82 points behind.
Not bad. Let's take a lap around this extremely fast 2-mile track.
You see the track 2 miles, just like California Speedway. Front stretch 3,600 feet, back stretch about 2,200 feet, 18-degree banking in the turns. We're going to ride along with Jack Sprague here right at the start of the race here. This is where you have options. You get down up to about 184, 85 miles an hour in the straightaway. Then you can run on the bottom like the 75 is, or you can move to the middle. You can move to the top. Wherever you want to go on this racetrack, there's grip. Now, again, it's very, very warm today. There's not going to be as much grip as we would have if it was cool. But here they are down the backstretch again, about 182, 185 miles an hour.
A little bit slower into turn 3, Phil, which gives you even more options in this big sweeping corner. You can see these guys are all in the darker color pavement. But believe me, as this race goes on, they'll be skimming along the wall like the guys in the very front are up there, already tasting the high waters.
You only get down to about 175 miles an hour in the center of the corner. You don't lose much speed here at Michigan.
One of the things I noticed also is they don't get out of the gas for very long, and maybe not even all the way out of the gas.
Well, in traffic maybe, but when the truck is perfect, if you're out front, you're going to be wide open for 15, 20 laps here. It's just that sticky when you got these trucks with all the downforce on them that they have.
And the temperatures upwards of 85 degrees right now, so a very warm racetrack as the sun beats down on the racing surface, making it just a little bit slicker. Well, we need to get this race underway, and to do that, we've got to fire the engine. So let's head back trackside for today's command.
And now, race fans, time once again for those most famous words in motorsports. Here's your Grand Marshal, Mike Yost.
In tribute to the men and women serving our country around the world, gentlemen, start your engines.
Excellent job on the command. Engines are fired up. They're all strapped in. We're about to go racing at Michigan International Speedway. Who will be victorious? Will we have a repeat winner or a new face in victory lane? Welcome back to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, 10th race of the 2007 season. Trucks just beginning to roll off of pit road. We take a look at our starting grid. It will roll across the bottom of the screen. Travis Pomple with his 2nd career pole, and Mark Martin on the outside of row number 1. We're going to take a look at a few different drivers, shine a spotlight on a couple of them. We'll start off with Jason White. Ray Dunlap.
Well, Rick, let's look at that number 7 Hooters energy drink truck. You know, it's only his 16th start this race today at Michigan, but this team picked up a full second from practice to qualifying. They feel like Jason White is just now starting to get enough seat time on these big tracks, but I can tell you there's talk down here in the garage that this team will not be with Chevrolet for much longer. I asked crew chief Barry Dodson who they'll be changing to, and he just dodged the question. Adam?
Behind the wheel of the 08 today is Chad McCumbee. He didn't drive this truck last week because he had an opportunity to make his Nextel Cup debut driving for Petty Enterprises at Pocono Raceway. He finished 25th and ran all 106 laps that were completed. He also won the ARCA race last weekend, and that must have given him some momentum because he's back in the 08 today, and earlier this afternoon he recorded his best qualifying effort of the year. Chad McCumbee starts 8th. Michael?
I'm going to ride along with Bobby Labonte. You see Bobby here. He's got 4 wins at Michigan Speedway, Phil. He knows how to get it done. Plus, the truck he's starting beside, Kenny Schrader there, he's had 2 or 3 good runs in a row. This team is is poised to make a strong run at the finish today.
Michael, I want to take a look at the number 47 Chevrolet, again, Resort Chevrolet of Craig Kinzer. Craig is just getting his sea legs under him now. He's really getting a lot of experience on asphalt. He's coming off his best finish of the season at Texas last week. He's going to start that, again, Resort Chevrolet in the 19th position for Morgan Dollar Motorsports.
So we're taking a look at a few of the drivers on here. We've shined a spotlight on. We'll keep you up to speed as far as how they are doing on the racetrack during the race. So we'll keep a spotlight shined on those drivers as well as everyone else. The 36 trucks that will be starting when we come back to Michigan International Speedway. Welcome back to the Irish Hills of Michigan for the Michigan 200. It's the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series on speed. We're going to ride along with a few different drivers today. One of those being Nextel Cup star Kevin Harvick. He starts in the 32nd position. At least that's where he qualified. They had motor problems, so he'll have to go to the back because they changed the motor on that Camping World Chevrolet.
We're also going to ride along with the Fastenal Dodge driver, Kenny Schrader. Talked to Jeff White, his crew chief, this morning. They found something this morning. They fought loose all day yesterday. These trucks are going to be a lot better today. Starts 21st.
Starting 6th in the Lumber Liquidators Toyota is Todd Bodine. Todd is affectionately known as the Onion, and you can't really tell why right now because he has on a helmet.
We're also riding along with our pole sitter. It's his second career pole for Travis Kvapil. Now, he made history here back in 2004 when he was able to win Toyota's first ever NASCAR race right here on this very racetrack. Ray Dunlap, have you got any thoughts before we go to the green flag?
Well, Rick, I always hate to repeat something, but this is really my same final thought from a week ago because it's about Todd Bodine and this team. You see, they've brought a lot of really new chassis to the track lately. Matter of fact, he's brought number 92 to most of the big tracks this year. But they've gone back to Old Faithful. The truck he's driving today is chassis number 51. And this is the only vehicle in this race today that has ever won 5 NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series races. They won a week ago at Texas, and I think they're going to be awfully good again today here at Michigan. Adam?
Another driver to watch here today, Ray, will no doubt be Ron Hornaday. He's been on a roll, second in Truck Series points, only 82 points behind leader Mike Skinner. He's won 2 of the last 4 races, and he should be good here today. Why? Because of his crew chief, Rick Wren. He's got 2 victories at Michigan, one with Travis Kvapil in 2004, and also a year ago with Johnny Benson. Hornaday starts 14th today as we go green at Michigan.
Green flag comes out. We are underway in the Michigan 200. Out in front of the field, it's Travis Kvapil and Mark Martin leading him into turn number 1.
Mark got a real good push there, Phil, from Mike Skinner. He drove up on the back of that Ford and shoved him around his teammate.
Yeah, you don't have to be on the bottom of the racetrack here. You can be all over this racetrack. I'm sure those guys ran that corner wide open.
They're probably going to run this one wide open, too.
And maybe the next one again. See, Mark Martin's going to get the advantage on the outside over Travis Kvapil. I was talking to Travis's crew chief, Mike Beam, who was a crew chief for Mark in this Roush number 6 last year, and he said the truck that Travis Kvapil's running right now was Mark's favorite in the fleet.
How about 3 and 4 wide as they came out of turn number 4? Are we going to see that all day?
I think you definitely are going to see that all day. And you know what? Look, the guy in the middle there thought he was on the outside. Somebody comes sliding up on. You never know if you're going to get past on the outside. There's just so much room out there.
There's Todd Bodine. That's Mike Skinner right in front of him. On the left is Kyle Busch and the number 51 Flanders Beef Patty Chevrolet. He was very, very good in practice yesterday.
Riding along with Todd, it doesn't sound like he has gotten out of the throttle yet.
Well, what you'll see here, Phil, if that 51 truck's able to hold his ground and make a pass on the bottom of those 2 Toyotas, you're right. That is a strong truck. That is very difficult to do. Hug the bottom and complete a pass. Let's see if he can work it out.
Oh, he got a little wiggle. Ooh.
Oh, Mark Martin's got problems as well as he wiggles.
Both
goes up the racetrack.
They wiggled at the exact same time. It cost Mark the lead.
Maybe Mark was serious about this track being real slippery.
I don't think he was throwing snowballs at Skinner in that pre-race talk.
Johnny Benson, he started back in the 10th position. He's already made his way up to 6th. He was another one of the trucks that was very good in practice.
Well, it was fun to watch him win that race here a year ago, wasn't it? Sure was. Just drove a perfect race to beat a very fast truck in Mark Martin. Mark could catch him, but Johnny never varied off his line.
Johnny mentioned it was such an emotional time too because his dad was here. It was his first win in the Truck Series.
There's Kevin Harvick right there. We're going to follow his progress. He had to go all the way to the back of the field because of an engine change. There's a little 3-wide racing. That's Ted Musgrave. The 9 on the inside, the 15 of Bill Lester, the 00 of A.J. Allmendinger, and the 88 of Matt Crafton.
AJ started back in the 16th spot, Phil. He's already driven up into the top 10. That's about 8th spot he's in.
He is getting a lot of experience in NASCAR right now. We saw his very first NASCAR race ever was at Loudon last year in a truck. Then he came right back his next race and finished second at Talladega, doing a great job in the trucks and the Nextel Cup Series.
How about owner getting beside driver? Kevin Harvick in his RV.com Chevrolet, Camping World Chevrolet, making the move on his driver, Ron Hornaday, and he's working the bottom of the racetrack.
Good battle for third right there. Kyle Busch, the 51 on the outside. Mike Skinner, our point leader, on the inside.
Skinner's right down on the bottom of the racetrack, like you talked about. And very difficult to pass.
But Kyle's giving Skinner a break here. Kyle's looking for that high lane to work. He didn't get down there on Skinner to make him loose. He drove in and ran the high line, and you could see Skinner. He wants to be as far away from Kyle as he can be on the straightaway, and he wants to be that way in the turn too if he can.
Just a few moments ago, we saw Mark Martin have a pretty big wiggle down there in 1 and 2. Let's see if we can take a look back. Remember, he's got the lead right now. He's on the bottom of the racetrack. You see him get out of the throttle, has to wiggle, has to catch the back end of that truck, and it allows Travis Kvapil to drive right by on the outside.
Adam Alexander.
John Monson, his crew chief, after that came on the radio, and he said, "Don't worry, boy, we'll fix you up." Mark came back and said, "Whoa, that was close." It's obviously very slick on the racetrack right now. Good news for Mark Martin. He only lost the lead. He didn't fall back any farther than second as we look at that battle for third.
Well, and you want to be loose right now, Phil. If that thing's a little bit loose, that means you're going to be okay come 20, 30 laps into the run. If you're already tight, it only gets worse. Loose is when that back end wants to come around. You can drive that with your foot. When that front end's pushing, it won't turn. You're pretty much hopeless.
Seeing a different line out of Mike Skinner there. He moved up the racetrack a little bit, was running in the middle of the track as Kyle Busch was working the outside line.
There's Kevin Harvick right there, just got by the 88 of Matt Crafton. Just a few moments ago, we're going to follow along with Kevin Harvick. Watch right on the inside. That's Craig Kinzer on the inside. Going to come off turn number 2. Ooh. Look, that's Ryan Matthews.
Okay, clear all around.
The 36 truck made a little contact with the back of Ryan Matthews, got him a little bit loose.
A lot of times you're kind of watching that guy on the inside, and you look up and the guy ahead of you is not going as fast as you thought he was. Little contact there, but no harm, no foul. I'm sure that's what Kevin says. I don't know how Ryan felt about it.
And you can lose the front end coming off for turn number 2. Ryan Matthews may have got out of the throttle for a moment there.
That separation between Travis Kvapil and Mark Martin, just over half a second. Kyle Busch, Mike Skinner, Johnny Benson, your top 5 in Michigan. Race day fans, grab your cameras, show us your colors of speed for a chance to see yourself on race day. We'll select the best photo each week and show it on air. It's all part of My Race Day. Upload your photos to speedtv.com, keyword My Race Day now. New leader in front of the field here at Michigan International Speedway, and that's why we're looking at Mark Martin in front of Travis Kvapil.
Here's how it happened just as we went away to commercial break. Down through turns number 1 and 2. Mark is able to run that truck right down on the bottom of the racetrack, and here he's just going to drive underneath Travis. Travis is running that middle groove that he talked about on our setup show. Mark goes right to the bottom. They race off turn number 2, and I think then Travis realized that Mark was there. He said, "He's caught me. There's no sense me racing him. I'm going to back off, let him get on in the corner," and now Travis is running second.
Well, and plus, Phil, I think it'd be really interesting to see. Ever since Mark got the lead, he slowed the pace down. He was running down in the 41-second bracket chasing Travis. Now his last lap up in the mid-42s, and the 3rd and 4th place trucks of Kyle Busch and Mike Skinner are actually catching these two. Is Mark just checking his tires out? Is he just holding off until he sees how fast he needs to go, or do you think he's flat out?
I think he's riding along. I think he's so smart. He's won here so many times. He's got 4 Cup wins, a couple Busch wins. He knows how to get it done here. He knows what his truck needs. His crew chief John Monson told me yesterday this was probably one of the easiest days I've ever had at the racetrack. We ran 6 laps in the first practice and ran for about 30 minutes in the last practice, and Mark says we're good.
Well, and that's a real tribute to John Monson and that team, because when you bring a truck to the track and Mark gets in it and says it's good, that's because it is. And I think he's proven that right now. John ought to be proud that he was able to tune that truck up like that.
Caught a glimpse a few moments ago of the 99 of Eric Darnell. He had made his way towards the front. He started at the back of the pack because he missed the driver's meeting, but he has fallen off the pace here. Several trucks have gotten by him in the last couple laps.
Looks crazy loose. It looks like it's just dancing all over the place. You can see it there off turn 4, just unsure of which way it's going to want to go.
There's a driver that's looking for a caution right now so they can make an adjustment. Adam Alexander.
Just to confirm what Michael Waltrip said about the race truck, Eric Darnell just said on the radio it is loose. He had worked his way from the tail of the field, as you guys talked about, into the top 20, handling a bit of an issue 14 laps in here at Michigan. So no doubt they would like a caution to adjust on that thing in the early going.
We saw trucks pass, Eric, on both sides. We saw Dennis Setzer, the 75 on the inside, Kenny Schrader on the outside. We've got a couple more trucks going to go by Eric Darnell.
He'll have to let off real early as he gets to the corner. See that, Phil? He lets off. And you know, earlier they were flat out. Now he's backing out up on the straightaway. That thing's not handling good at all.
Yeah, he is in desperate need of a caution flag right now, so John Quinn can adjust on that Northern Tool and Equipment Ford.
Heck, he won the race yesterday.
Yeah, had his hands full. He was racing Sam Hornish Jr. in the ARCA race yesterday, and a great race for him. His second ever ARCA REMAX Series race win. But now, obviously, not as good a handling vehicle.
Yeah, he is barely running right now. But meanwhile, there's Mark Martin. He's got almost a 2-second lead now on our second-place truck of Travis Kvapil.
Ray Dunlap.
Rick Crawford came on the radio, said his truck is overheating on the racetrack, so they may have a little too much tape on the nose there. We'll see if we can get a shot of that. Appears that maybe some smoke coming out. I've been monitoring the radio. Hasn't said anything the last lap or two, but could be problems for Crawford, and he's always good here at Michigan.
It also looks like the right side of that truck is flat.
He scuffed that on.
Hit the wall?
I think he has. Scuffed it up on the wall. Now, that won't be a big deal, Phil, unless he got that.
Smooth, Rick. Just smooth.
Crew chief talked to him there. That won't be a big deal unless he got that front end. See over there on the corner? I believe that's going to hurt him. See how he's knocked some of his downforce off the front?
He's got that splitter that's bent down a little bit there on the right front corner of that truck.
Rick Crawford trying to hang on now as he's scored in the 18th position. It's Mark Martin that's out in front of the field. There has been no cautions here at Michigan International Speedway. This is the site of the fastest truck race ever. Tomorrow on Speed, only one crew knows how to get NASCAR fans this fired up, and only one show can prepare you for this big of a race. Jumpstart your race day with NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot. Live tomorrow, 11 a.m., only on Speed. In front of the field, it is still Mark Martin, but now there is a new driver that's chasing him. Kyle Busch has taken over second. Problems for Ron Horn today. What's going on, Ray?
Right rear tire is coming apart on him, so he's going to come to the pits, and they'll put right side tires on this Camping World Chevrolet. He said it started to vibrate, and then he said he could feel parts coming off of it. He was afraid it would rip the fenders all off, so they decided to pit. They'll go to the right side. Crew is going to go to work. It'll be right side tires only. Looks like they're going to make a track bar adjustment also, down one round on the track bar. Nope, 4 tires for Ron Hornaday, so they'll go for 4. Going to lose a lap here at least.
And Ray, that right rear tire looked like it was up when they took it off.
Yeah, I didn't see any tread off of it.
Yeah, that's a bad sign, too, because if Ron's handle had gone away that bad, he thought a tire had come apart, and it didn't, then that truck is really, really loose. There's Todd Bodine right there. He just got back by Chad McCumbee. Chad had passed him a few laps ago, and then Bobby Labonte in the Ford truck got by Chad. Now Todd has taken over that 12th position from Chad. Actually, maybe the 11th position.
We're hearing NASCAR is checking the racetrack to make sure there's no debris on the racing surface.
Well, a lot of these trucks, Rick, have the sides all swiped off of them. A.J. Allmendinger, I just watched go by. He's got the right side of that thing scuffed up.
We saw Rick Crawford earlier.
And that's what happens on a slick track. These guys go searching for grooves.
Wow, Todd Bodine really high up the racetrack. Mark Martin out in front of this field. Again, Kyle Busch taking over second, away from the 6 of Travis Kvapil.
Eric Darnell has already gone a lap down right now. Mark was about 1/10 of a second faster that time than Kyle Busch. This is Kyle's 3rd start of the season, Ray.
Yeah, and he's really, really loose, guys. You know, Michael said at the top of the show, you want to be loose early on. But just about everybody out of my end of pit road talking about being loose. Kyle Busch, the worst, complaining the most, saying he has to get out of the gas before he even enters the corner. Adam?
And conversely, Actually, Ray, one guy who's saying he is a bit on the tight side would be Bobby Labonte, but that's good news because the thing was so loose yesterday, he couldn't drive it in practice. 27th and 28th in the 2 practice sessions, but I think it's pretty good. He started 22nd today, and in 20 laps, he's worked himself into the top 10. Ray?
Adam, as you said, or guys in the booth said, the tire was not down on Ron Hornaday's truck. They had a problem with the wheel. It was not loose lug nuts, but somehow the center of the hub of the wheel on the right rear was out around. So not sure what happened there exactly. They've looked the lug nuts over, and the center of the holes where the lug nuts go on are not out around, but the wheel itself is. So that's what gave Ron Hornaday that sensation that the tire was coming apart.
Yeah, that's a tough break for Ron Hornaday, but we do have the lucky dog here. Ron right now is being shown 1 lap down, but he's going to need a caution flag to be able to take advantage of a potential lucky dog.
And the more this thing runs Greenfield, the more trucks that Mark Martin will put a lap down, making that job even more difficult to get that free pass.
Well, yeah, and the problem right now is Ron Hornaday is being scored 34th. Well, the first truck a lap down is Eric Darnell, so he would be the one that would be eligible for that free pass.
Right now, but what we're talking about is needing another caution even after this caution. Let Ron get caught up. He's got a great truck. Yeah. Let him get caught up and get in position to get it on the next caution flag.
Yeah, he's way faster than everybody that's a lap down, but he doesn't have the track position he needs right now to get that Aaron's lucky dog.
Good battle right there on the racetrack for 6th. That's A.J. Allmendinger, the Red Bull Toyota, taking over the 6th spot from Jack Sprague. See if Jack's going to fight back on the outside. Not going to be able to do it. Going to pull in behind him. Good run so far for A.J.
Well, that was a great corner, too, Phil. He's been running right out next to the wall. We talked about how hard it is to make that pass and make it stick. He drove down in there and made that pass stick. That was a good move.
Coming up on 29 green flag laps here at Michigan. The battle for 3rd starting to heat up as the 6 of Travis Quapple sees the 5 of Mike Skinner in the rearview mirror.
Yeah, Travis has faded a little bit now. He's fallen to about 6 seconds behind our leader, Mark Martin. See Mike Skinner going to try to drive by on the inside. See if he can come off the corner even with him and then maybe beat him down to the next corner. Not quite able to do it that time. Caution flag.
Caution's out for debris. Caution's out. Looking.
There you have it, debris. Hearing it on the back stretch. Brings out our first caution of the day after 29 laps of racing. That's
a big break for Ron Hornaday. He's not going to get the lucky dog right now, but he will be in position to get the lucky dog should the caution come out again.
And there's a 50-50 shot. He might just stay out, Phil. He just was on pit road. He might stay out, get around all those guys, and start right next to the leader when they go back green.
And they limit the number of sets of tires that these Truck Series teams have. They only had 4 sets of tires for this entire race. Obviously, Ron used up a set in practice, started on another set, and that was his 3rd set. So he really only has 1 more set of tires on pit road that he can put on this truck.
The most he'll do then is come in, get a splash of gas. That'll give him track position over all those other guys a lap down, and he'll be ready to race for that lucky dog.
Is it unsettling, though? We see that lucky dog, as you just mentioned.
No, it's never unsettling to get the Aaron's lucky dog. It's very relieving.
Is it unsettling, though, to not know why you had that vibration? Right rear being out around?
They've told him now, though. They don't know why it happened necessarily to that wheel, but Ron has been made aware of what went wrong, that it wasn't a torn up tire. So now I think his mind should be at ease now.
The only thing that'll happen is if it happens again, then they're going to know they've got a serious problem with the back end of that truck. If they can get by without it happening again, then he should be fine the rest of the day.
There you have it in the racing, actually a little bit underneath the racing groove, but a little bit of debris on the racetrack.
He missed some.
Could be some rubber that's down there.
Yeah, maybe that's.
They'll leave that on the track.
See a little scuff mark on the outside wall coming off turn number 2. The 88 of Matt Crafton is on pit road right now. Pit road is not open, so he will have to go to the back of the pack. On the restart, he will have to restart from the longest line for pitting too soon.
Wonder why he did that.
I don't know. He must have either felt like he had a problem, maybe a flat tire, or just miscommunication and did not see the closed pit road signal down there.
Oh, they got a problem.
Yeah.
Wonder if the truck's missing. They're messing with the ignition system there.
Yeah, very possibly.
That's the light you're talking about, that the pit road is closed. It was blinking red.
And if you have a problem like apparently Matt Crafton does, then you're better off to use this extra time. Go ahead, take the penalty. Make sure you have enough time to do it. You're going to watch this. Spotter will be watching the caution truck right there to make sure that they don't go a lap down. But meanwhile, all the leaders will be headed towards pit road.
All of them.
All of them.
And they're being led onto pit road by that 21 of Mark Martin. Adam Alexander.
He said nothing on the radio since that old baby comment when he got very loose in those first couple of laps, rallied back to grab the lead, and has been quiet ever since. John Monson, the crew chief, said 4 tires, fuel, no changes. You've got no trucks in front of you. That means an easy out, right on lap.
3 separate adjustments coming up for Kyle Busch. They'll make air pressure change in the right rear. You say a wedge adjustment in the left side. Now, Travis Kvapil is going to get a round and a half a wedge for him to try to help tighten up his truck. He said he felt like if he could go through the center of the corner a little bit better, they really got a good enough truck to win here today. Kyle Busch came in. He is going to be beaten off a pit road by Mark Martin for sure. Kyle Busch will go off 4th. The 3rd place will go to Travis Kvapil.
Pretty good pit stop by that 21 team. Able to get Mark Martin back on the racetrack, back in the position that he came off of the racetrack, in first. We'll see if he can hold on to it when we come back. FoxSports.com and SpeedTV.com form the most powerful online team in NASCAR. For breaking news, in-depth analysis, detailed driver stats, and more, log on to SpeedTV.com now. Problems continuing for the 33 team. Ron Hornaday back onto pit road, and they had that one jacked up, and Jack stands underneath it working on that truck. Look at that close call. Oh, ooh, man. Ow. That's a hyperextension right there of an arm.
Just caught the left rear corner of that spoiler.
Check that out. Didn't quite have the jack stand placed. For some reason, Phil, they moved the track bar. I don't know if that was an issue that was handling that bad that they felt like they needed to change the location of that left rear track bar. That changes the roll center in the back of the truck and frees the truck up or tightens it up. What are they looking to do, Ray?
Well, Michael, actually they raised the track bar on both sides of the truck up about 1.5 inches on the right, so they made an adjustment on both sides. So I'm going to try to follow up with Rick Wren here shortly about what all they're trying to accomplish. Adam?
Pretty solid day so far for A.J. Allmendinger, Ray. He started 16th, drove his way up to 7th, came on to pit road a slight bit on the tight side, so they made a little bit of an air pressure adjustment, nothing major. And the good news is the pit guys picked him up 1 spot on the caution flag, so he's now running in the 6th position. Solid day to this point for A.J. Allmendinger, Ray.
Let me tell you about a great pit stop sequence that they had down here for Kevin Harvick. He was very, very loose in that 2 Camping World Chevrolet, so they made air pressure adjustments on the right side tires, but he came in 13th place and left in 5th, and yes, they did do 4 tires, so great pit work from the crew down here for Kevin Harvick.
And guys, you know who's doing Kevin Harvick's pit stop today. That's his Nextel Cup team, led by Ty Berry, that are doing the pit work for Kevin Harvick. So you know those guys are good every week.
You don't pick up 8 spots ever. Yeah. And that's amazing. That just shows you the level of these the guys that do the pit work on Sunday afternoons.
Field coming out of turn number 4. The pace truck already on pit road. Field being led by Mark Martin as we get ready to go back to green flag racing. The green flag back out.
See Ron Hornaday already able to drive by a couple of the lap down trucks. He only has 1 more truck to get by, and that's the 47 of the 46 of Travis Kittleson.
He's already around him.
Got by him, and so now Ron Hornaday will be the first truck scored a lap down.
That didn't take long, did it?
Sure didn't. About 1.5 quarters.
And now he's pulled up into the high-speed lane. Gonna race with these guys a little bit.
Look at the run Jack Sprague had. Look at Kyle Busch go on the outside.
Right by Mark Martin, so Kyle Busch takes over the point.
Wow. Richie Waters made a couple adjustments on that truck.
Look at the run that Travis has on Mark.
Remember, we heard the pit report, no adjustments on that 21 truck of Mark Martin.
Mark's probably thinking, I don't know why y'all are in such a hurry right now.
Long runs are good for that 21
but
truck.
You're really getting on my nerves.
Look at Mike Skinner. Looks at Travis Kvapil on the inside of the racetrack. Side by side right now for the battle for 3rd.
5 and 6 have been battling for position this entire race. Skinner again on the low side. Kvapil able to keep the speed up on the high side of the racetrack.
Skinner's going to fight back down on the bottom. This is a battle for 3rd. The Toyota of Mike Skinner and the Ford, the K&N Ford of Travis Kvapil. Got a good side-by-side battle behind them. Kevin Harvick and A.J. Allmendinger battling for 5th.
Harvick moving his way toward the front of this field.
Allmendinger elects to run the high side while Harvick's down on the bottom. You know, Phil, 9 times out of 10, the bottom will prevail. If the truck's running good enough where a guy wants to take it to the bottom and keep it there, it's handling good, he will eventually get around the guy on the high side. When the high side starts to work is later when the time, I know you're saying, you know, Kyle Busch drove right around Mark on the outside, except for that time.
No, I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to agree with you.
Except for that one time.
And right now the tires are as good as they're going to be.
Right.
Actually, probably the good's already gone off these tires a little bit.
Little contact there between the two Toyotas, Ted Musgrave and A.J. Allmendinger.
That's a battle for the 6th position. Very, very close as they entered turn number 1. Ted wanted to move up as much as he could to get a good angle down in the corner. He's going to drive right around the bottom, and A.J.'s going to drive right up against the fence.
There's 6 different lanes there that you could run.
You got that right. And they took 2 of the 6, so there was 4 left.
They had plenty of room for other people.
Yeah.
Let's have more people over next time. You want to? But you see that truck on the bottom, it looks like AJ's still pushing. He's up top. He can't get the thing to turn like he wants to, and Ted took advantage of that.
Sounds as though one of our cameras actually broke. This is one of the robo cams that's right on the racetrack. Take a look at this. Oh,
Ooh.
man.
I do not want to operate that camera.
That was not very nice either. Look at this 3-wide battle right here. Bobby Labonte, the 4 on the inside, the 30 of Todd. Oh, Todd gets loose. Almost collects the 10 of David Starr.
Chases it up the racetrack. I'm guessing right now Brendan Gaughan is going, not again. This can't happen again to me.
Check out all the trucks in that glob. And here comes Mark back on the bottom.
On the bottom of the racetrack.
Like
Kyle.
you said, Mark was saying, what are you guys in a hurry for?
I think this is a situation where the racetrack is coming to Mark.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that wad on the, there's still a wad on the right-hand side of our screen.
And you can see Todd, he drives right up on the back of the 10 truck, giving him a push. He's wanting to get that draft and drive on up to the 4 truck of Bobby Labonte.
Bobby Labonte being scored in the 11th spot. He's moved up to 9th now, so it's about 9th to 15th right there, this wad of trucks we're talking about on the right side. A new leader out front, Mark Martin, has been able to get by Kyle Busch. That's on the left side of your screen.
We got all kinds of stuff going on.
And I love it when they're able to run all over the racetrack, too.
And race car driver, you're a race car driver, and that's why you love it. That's all you want as a race car driver is an option. Let's go down in the corner. If you're going to go one way, I'll go the other. Let's see who comes out first.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You go wherever you want, and I'll go the other direction.
This is the battle for 3rd. It continues between the 5 and the 6. Skinner on the inside, Kvapil on the outside. Toyota and Ford continuing to battle here in Michigan.
Both Travis Kvapil and Mike Skinner that time ran faster than our leader Mark Martin while they were running side by side.
Todd Bodine earlier chasing the truck up the racetrack.
That's the 10 right behind him of David Starr. This is that little situation where we got loose in the middle. Bobby Labonte on the inside. Todd has to wiggle, has to chase it up the hill. Going to block the advance of the 77 to South Point Chevrolet of Brendan Gaughan.
Now Todd back down on the bottom of the racetrack trying to get by Bobby Labonte.
These guys are running 9th and 10th. Bobby's run that thing straight to the front while his teammate, you know, Schrader started right beside him. He hadn't had any luck at all. He's fallen all the way back to 24th. What's going on with the 30, Ray?
Well, Michael, Todd says that when he gets to the center of the corner and tries to turn the truck, it's real snappy loose. He said he doesn't feel it being loose till all of a sudden it just snaps loose, and he said he's real afraid to run on the high side, so he's been trying to keep that thing down to the bottom of the racetrack, but snappy loose in the middle, reports Todd.
And you know, that I still will say that's a good feeling. That means that truck's teetering right on the edge. He thinks he's got it, but yet he pushes a little bit harder, and it snaps sideways on him. But as laps go off, Todd will begin to get a comfort level for what that truck's doing, and it'll be an advantage for him.
And he's able to drive right up beside the 4 of Bobby Labonte, may even clear him here.
But when he runs on the bottom of the racetrack, it's a tighter radius. Wouldn't it tend to be a little bit harder down there than if you run toward the wall?
For some reason, and I guess it's just hard for me to understand. When my car's tight, I go up top and it frees it up. When my car's loose, I don't want to go up top because it's looser up there.
Okay.
I don't know why it works that way, but it does.
Mike Skinner continuing to run on the bottom of the racetrack, trying to get by the 6 of Travis Kvapil. They continue to battle for 3rd. Out in front, it's Mark Martin and Kyle Busch leading the field around Michigan International Speedway. Welcome back to the Michigan 200 from Michigan International Speedway. It's Mark Martin that's out in front of the field. Now Travis Kvapil currently running in the second position. He was able to get by Kyle Busch as well as Mike Skinner. So Kyle Busch has dropped back actually to the 4th spot now.
Yeah, Travis Kvapil, even when he was racing with Mike Skinner, was running lap times just as fast as our leader Mark Martin was, and they were catching the 51 of Kyle Busch, and now have both got by him.
Now we're closing in on the halfway point of this race, and we heard people talking earlier about the size of the fuel cells, the distance they can go on one tank of fuel is about 50 laps. I mean, that would be stretching it pretty high, but at the same time, we may see one more pit stop.
I think we're definitely going to see one more pit stop, but maybe only one more pit stop. And remember, these teams only had 4 sets of tires. We've talked about it before. They got rid of a set in practice. They used it up. They started the race on a set. That's their second set. They put another set on that they have on their trucks right now. That's their third set. There's only one more set of tires. So once you get inside your pit window for fuel, got a problem with the 21, Adam.
Adam, what's going on, bud?
And on the radio, Mark Martin said it's blowing up. The crew's gone up on the wall. I don't know that they know for sure exactly what the problem is, but at this point it would appear to be something under the hood. Mark Slowing and John Monson, his crew chief, on the radio addressing the situation now. A very dejected crew.
This would have to be from the highest high.
Take it to the garage.
The highest high for John Monson, who yesterday looked like a kid in a candy store saying everything's perfect, we feel great, to right now.
He said it was his best day ever at a racetrack yesterday.
Yep.
And today was too, till just now.
Yeah.
They had this thing under they had it under control for sure.
Yeah, that's what's so humbling about this sport. I mean, you can have the high of highs and the low of lows.
What dejection by that team who looked so strong in the early runnings. But now the lead has been handed over to Travis Kvapil. Here's a battle for 4th. Ted Musgrave taking the spot away from A.J. Allmendinger.
These are two cats that have run two distinctively different lines, as you can well tell. And
they're only 50 feet apart, you know.
And it works out good for Ted on that corner, but on this on the other end down here, A.J. seems to be better through 1 and 2.
We're getting a report that NASCAR is looking at the right side of the 00 of A.J. Allmendinger. We talked about earlier that he made a little contact with the outside wall, but sure hasn't slowed him down much.
Two drivers that used to be teammates in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series now battling for the lead. Here comes Mike Skinner looking to the inside of Kvapil.
This is where Travis Kvapil got Toyota's first win. Now he's holding off a strong Toyota of Mike Skinner's.
Talk about the year that Mike Skinner has had. Not finished out of the top 10 this year. He's led each and every race coming into this race this year. Really putting some strong finishes together.
I'll just tell you, you're never going to be able to figure out who's going to win one of these races. At Texas, Todd Bodine pitted because his carburetor was messed up. They looked under the hood and said,
replace the carburetor.
Said, well, this is crazy. Let's just change it. and then he goes and wins the race.
Unbelievable. Travis Kvapil doesn't want to have that same kind of drama as he's looking to make it to victory lane one more time here at Michigan.
Well, Skinner not able to do it again. Tries to work him on the bottom. Not going to happen.
Mike Skinner has been running on the bottom of the racetrack. Now he sneaks up to the top. We'll see if he's able to get by Travis Kvapil when we come back.
As the summer officially begins, the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series season heats up at the Milwaukee Mile. There's been 11 different winners in 12 races at the Oval, proving next week can be anyone's race. Is it time for another new face to find victory lane in the Truck Series? Or, as the season kicks in high gear, can anyone catch points leader Mike Skinner? Tune in live at 8:30 for all the action, starting with the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series setup, followed by the green flag. Only on Speed.
Under the lights once again at the Milwaukee Mile for the Toyota Tundra Milwaukee 200. That's Friday night. Again, the setup begins at 8:30 p.m. Eastern with Chris Devoda. Caution on the racetrack, and you see why. A.J. Allmendinger in the 00.
Jason Overstreet said check the rotor. A lot of times when you make contact with the outside wall, it'll break that right front rotor.
You can see what happened. He's been running right out next to the wall. He'd scrubbed it a little bit earlier. What happens here, Phil?
He was a little bit wider, it looked like early.
Yeah.
I thing took off pretty quick, though. I'm not sure if maybe he had a tire going down, you think?
That right front tire could have gone down. He had been, you see it's coming flat here, Phil, all the debris flying off of it. He had been running right out next to the wall. He's not going to misjudge it that bad after running that high all day long. I think he did lose a right front tire. You could see some damage to the truck earlier, so he might have had a fender rubbing a little bit, and it got him into the fence.
A.J. Allmendinger fighting a mishandling vehicle, but a truck that is off the racetrack because of a blown engine is Mark Martin. He's with Adam Alexander.
And not surprised we're talking to Mark Martin, but I am surprised we're talking to you in the garage before this thing is over. Tough break on a day when you had such a good truck, Mark.
These Wood Brothers JTG Racing team here really deserved a win. I just can't close the deal for them. Our engine was fixing to go all to pieces, so you know, we brought it in, but this F-150 was dialed in today. Gosh, that was fun. I really hate it for these guys. You know, they deserve a trophy, and I just can't get them one.
And John Monson said it best on the radio, the crew chief for Mark Martin. Guys, we're going to get us one. It's just going to take us longer than we had hoped.
Feel pretty good to say they had a real good shot at one today.
Yes, absolutely.
And pretty much a really good shot at every one they've ever run together.
Here they come on to pit road. Adam Alexander.
And Mike Skinner solidly running in the top 5. They talked about an air pressure change. They went back and forth on whether they were going to make a wedge adjustment, but it looks like no chassis adjustment. Air pressure only? Nope, they did make the chassis adjustment. 4 tires and fuel, and confirmation from crew chief Jeff Hensley, we can go the distance from here. Ray Dunlap.
Well, everybody's going to be able to make it on fuel on my end also, Adam, but Kyle Busch's truck is still very loose, so air pressure adjustment, and you see they're putting a wedge adjustment in the left rear once again. Now for Travis Kvapil, who was the leader of this race, they're going to add a ½ pound of air pressure to the left rear, and that'll help tighten him up just a little bit. Travis Kvapil comes in first. Todd Bodine is right behind him. He was a little bit loose. It's going to be a race off the pit road, but Kvapil will not go off first. Looks like Mike Skinner going to beat him out.
Kyle Busch at 51 is going to come off second.
So a great race off of pit road and great racing on the racetrack. We'll see more of it when we come back to Michigan International Speedway. Coverage of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series on Speed is brought to you by the official tools of NASCAR. Craftsman, by Fastenal, we get it right. And by Dodge, you can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge. Great race off of pit road. After this most recent caution, just the second caution of the day, A.J. Allmendinger bringing that one out. Out in front of the field, it's Mike Skinner. We've had 4 different leaders, 9 changes, most of those between Travis Kvapil and Mark Martin, and then obviously Mark Martin now off the racetrack because of an expired engine.
And now Mike Skinner has led each and every race in the 2007 season.
Lucky Dog going to the 33 of Ron Hornaday. You both spelled it out to me earlier.
It was going to work out. It just was a matter of time, and Ron took advantage of the Aaron's Lucky Dog, and now he's back on the lead lap. They also made an adjustment when he pitted to that truck when he was on. It looked like they did as much as they did earlier. Ray, what did they work on that track bar some more?
Yeah, Michael, they've been making this thing better for Hornaday all the day. But, you know, as I listen to the radio down on this end of pit road, everybody's still very loose, even though we've had pit stops where almost every team has dropped their track bar either 1, 2, or 3 rounds. So a lot of adjustments happening here today at Michigan to try to overcompensate for that racetrack that's just been very, very loose today. Adam?
And one driver, Ray, that continues to turn heads in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series garage is A.J. Allmendinger. I know it didn't work out for you today. First off, what happened, A.J.?
I think the right front went down. I mean, I had no warning. The truck was getting a bit loose running up top, but we were still pretty good. We were just trying to get to the next pit stop. And I just, as soon as I let off the throttle down into one, I knew I was in trouble because it never turned. It just went right up the hill.
Same truck that he finished second with at Charlotte a month ago. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out for A.J. Allmendinger today, but everybody knows this driver was here.
Yeah, Adam, we speculated that maybe that right front tire went down because it took off awfully quick, and he'd been running up on the high side of the racetrack. Like you said, Michael, he would not have misjudged it that badly after doing it the entire race.
Green flag about to come back out. Mike Skinner, as you had mentioned, back out in front of the field. Actually 60 bonus points in 2007 for Mike Skinner, 25 more than any other driver. Green flag flies again at Michigan.
Kyle Busch is all over the back of that Toyota. and going to dive to the inside.
Kyle Busch looking to take away the point from Mike Skinner. Looks like Travis Kvapil's going to follow him on the bottom of the track. Now he looks to the high side behind Skinner.
Great racing here at Michigan, and that's what this racetrack lends itself to. Look at Brendan Gaughan in that 77 Chevrolet running fourth right now.
South Point Casino Chevrolet of Brendan Gaughan has had his share of bad luck this season. Let's look at that or see if that will change today.
Wow, that's a great shot. All those trucks arguing over position. They just want a little extra space is all.
Single file line in front of the field. Mike Skinner was leading Travis Kvapil and Kyle Busch into the turn, and then they all take 3 different lines as they make their way through that turn.
That's fun to watch, isn't it? The way they fan out, try to figure out how they can get a little bit more grip.
Adam Alexander, what's going on with Brendan Gaughan and that team?
Brendan Gaughan has been fighting a loose condition all day long, but they want a little track position, so they went with an air pressure adjustment, right side tires only on their pit stop at lap 56. They've got the track position. Now the question is, can Brendan drive it the rest of the way to the front and get his second win at Michigan International Speedway, right?
Well, Adam, let's talk a little bit about Jack Sprague. He started 7th today, and he's hovered pretty much around that position. 6th, 7th, he was up as high as 5th at one time, but they've continued to drop the track bar on his truck. This last time on pit road at lap 57, they went down another 2 rounds and took a pound out of the right rear. All those things to try to help tighten up that Conway Toyota. He said it is just way too loose. We'll listen in a little bit and see if they made it better.
Battle continuing up front. These 3 trucks all looking to lead this race. Mike Skinner leading laps. Travis Kvapil's been out in front. Kyle Busch in that 51 would also like to be in front of the field. He's led 6 laps here.
That's the Toyota, a Ford, and a Chevy battling at the front.
Pretty good parity right there in the Craftsman Truck Series.
You can see Skinner's right down on the bottom of the racetrack, while Kyle and Travis are more middle to the top, and all 3 of them are working, obviously.
Look at the run Travis Kvapil has on Mike Skinner. He looks to the inside, trying to take the top spot away.
Let's see if he can clear him. He's not going to be able to do it. Actually, I had to chase this truck up the hill, ran the middle of the racetrack. Mike Skinner was able to use that momentum to stay in front of him, and he's going to bring the 51 of Kyle Busch with him.
Kyle was thinking, nice try. I tried that myself. It didn't work so well.
But I will take advantage of your attempt at it.
Who knows? Maybe I'll try again.
Travis Kvapil going from almost leading this race to back to 3rd now. Skinner still holding on to that front spot. Just behind him, Kyle Busch has taken over 2nd. 3rd, Travis Kvapil. Brendan Gaughan holds on to 4th, and Ted Musgrave running in the top 5. Welcome back to the Michigan 200. You see Mike Skinner on the right side now ducks back into 3rd. Well, that's because Kyle Busch has been able to get by Mike Skinner, and while he did it, Travis Kvapil also took advantage of it and got by him.
Let's see if we can take a look back at how Kyle Busch was able to wrestle the lead away from that number 5 of Mike Skinner. They're going down the front straightaway, right at the start-finish line. Kyle's going to dive to the inside.
I told you, he told Travis he'd probably try it again, and there he goes, and he makes it stick, Phil. But the interesting thing, once he took the lead, he could not get away from Skinner. And not only is Skinner closed up, but look at this battle. We got all 5 of the top 5 trucks running for the lead. Brendan Gaughan has caught him from way back.
And Brendan Gaughan has been running consistently on the high side of the racetrack, and we've seen these 3 in front of him jockeying around all over the place.
And remember, these trucks punch an awfully big hole in the air, and they're running upwards of 180 miles an hour on the straightaways. The draft is pretty important here. Look at Brendan Gaughan.
Brendan Gaughan. He's going to try to make it 3 wide. Travis Kvapil's going to shut the door, but Gaughan running very strong on the high side of this track.
He's going to push Travis right past Skinner. Gaughan to 3rd, Travis to 2nd.
I like the way that 77 truck is running right now.
Brendan Gaughan, Travis Kvapil, both former winners here at this racetrack. Brendan Gaughan back in 2003, Travis Kvapil in 2004.
I tell you, that 51 truck looks loose, though. He's had to chase that truck a couple times off of turn number 2, and now Travis got inside of him.
Kvapil taking away the front spot. Let's see if he can hold on to it.
I think not. I think Kyle moves up high. Look at him dance.
I'm telling you, he's too loose, Michael.
How about 4 wide for the lead as they come out of turn number 4?
And you know who's smiling right now? Ted Musgrave. All that jumbling around has allowed him to catch these guys. Here comes Ted to the bottom.
They better watch out if that 77 truck gets the lead. I'm telling you, Michael.
5 trucks all jockeying for position, which is the #1 spot. Here comes Brendan Gaughan on the high side again.
We had a great racer last year. I'm not sure if it could get any better, and it is better.
This is the best right here when you got, and the reason why it's the best is you got Travis Kvapil, whose truck looks like it's handling perfect. Kyle Busch is sideways, and then Brendan Gaughan's on 2 tires riding right out next to the wall.
Here goes Brendan Gaughan. He's going to try to take away second. Kyle Busch running the exact same line. Kvapil moves up the racetrack.
Not able to clear him. Brendan may be able to drive by Travis on the outside.
There he goes. Brendan Gaughan taking over second.
We got about a 5-truck hole behind him right now.
And Brendan Gaughan is not going to slow down right now. That South Point Chevrolet running so well on the high side of the track. Will Kyle Busch close that door? Oh, we've got another engine expiring, it looks like, with the 18 of Ken
There's
Schrader.
oil up there. Watch up there,
out.
wreck. Tell Bobby.
That was
Oil
Kenny
up there,
Schrader
he's
himself saying, I lost some oil. Tell my teammate, Bobby Labonte. But NASCAR decided to throw that caution flag out. The field is slowed down coming through turn 4 right now.
Lose the motor there, Schrader.
That was a significant engine failure, wasn't it, Phil?
It certainly was. Ooh, good save by Kenny right there. A lot of stuff on the racetrack. You can see it pouring out of that. That's water, it looks like, doesn't it, Michael?
What do you do now, Phil, if you're Kyle Busch and you're so sideways you can't hardly hang on? Do you pit?
I don't think you can afford to give up that much. You don't have any tires to put on, Michael. There's 27 trucks on the lead lap, and you don't have any fresh tires to put on. What are you going to gain?
Well, Chad McCumbie's going to grab, he's going to gain a lap because he gets the Aaron's lucky dog. Remember, Chad McCumbie had to come onto pit road because his window net had come down. And so he will get the lucky dog a free pass back. This is the reason why we are under our 3rd caution of the day. The engine expires on the Fastenal Dodge of Ken Schrader.
You know, if you haven't done your Father's Day shopping yet, we have got the perfect last-minute gift idea for your dad. It's the 26-inch 10-door combination set from Craftsman. It is perfect. 5 ball-bearing sliding drawers that will help keep you organized. Top drawer, you can put your screwdrivers and picks. You can keep your equipment wherever you like. And what about these images of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series? Now, this is the rollaway portion. At the top, we have the chest. Again, it helps keep you organized. You can keep your wrenches in one drawer, your Craftsman work gloves in another. And there's more storage yet. 5 drawers, and then up top, a perfect spot for your drill. And oh yeah, the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series logo. As always, to buy these items, you can go to your local Sears store or log on to Sears.com.
You can check out this Craftsman Tools of the Trade and other great programming on Speed on Demand. Rick Crawford, our Fastenal Fast Starts. Started 27th, currently running in the 8th spot. And immediately following our truck race here in Michigan, we slip over for the 24 Hours of Le Mans. What an unbelievable endurance race.
Got the Peugeots and the Audis battling for the lead when I came up to watch this truck race. I'm a speed addict. I go to speedtv.com, get all my news there. I watch everything.
You watch the Speed Report?
I love the Speed Report. Nicole Mansky and that other guy.
You're all over it.
Might be Drew. Is it Drew?
It is Drew.
And my favorite show is that where they follow them. What's that called? Follow a team to the races.
No.
Oh, well. Adam, do
Adam
you know?
may know.
Unfortunately, that would be 0 for 4 on that particular category. So let's talk about something we do know about, and that's the number 9 of Ted Musgrave, listening to some of the radio chatter while he was riding around under caution, and he was analyzing the drivers in front of and behind him, guys like Mike Skinner, Travis Kvapil, our leader Kyle Busch, and also Brendan Gaughan. And he said, of all those guys, the one I'm really concerned about, the 77. He's like a bottle rocket in the top lane. Ted Musgrave's been enjoying running the bottom lane. Wouldn't it be kind of fun to see those two running side by side at the front at the end? A long way to go to decide this one, but that's how Ted Musgrave shakes out the competition in the latter stages here at Michigan.
2003. Brendan Gaughan, we talked about how dominant of a truck he had. His average speed in winning that race over 154 miles an hour. There were only 2 cautions that day.
And he won by almost 12 seconds. That's the 3rd largest margin of victory in the history of the series.
Ooh, there was a young-looking Phil Parsons there in victory lane also.
You had some groovy hair, too. Survival of the fastest, darn it. Can we look at his hair?
There it is.
That was a good day back then in 2003.
Well, here, the hairline's still pretty good right here. So I don't think anything's really changed, actually, Phil.
We're going to go back racing here.
Let's get serious here. Go back racing.
It is going to be serious because Kyle Busch has a loose truck.
And Brendan Gaughan runs on the high side of the racetrack. Now, will Kyle Busch take that line away so that Brendan has to go somewhere else?
Yes, I don't think he has a choice. He was doing that before the caution came out. It's going to be even harder to do it now, though, Phil. When the tires ride around for a little bit and you try to do something different, your truck's liable to get loose with you. So it'll be interesting to see where he heads when he gets to turn 1.
And when these tires get hot, they pick up a lot of debris. Look at Travis Kvapil going to go to the inside right away on the 77 of Brendan Gaughan.
I just believe cool tires and the bottom of the racetrack are a great combination. Once you get the tires heated up, then you can start using that high side like Brendan's doing right now.
Brendan Gaughan continuing up on the high side. Inside of him, though, it's the 6 of Travis Kvapil. Ray, what are they talking about?
Well, Mike Beam, with his experience, had just told Travis exactly that. Use the bottom of the track while your tires are cool. Now, they came in running first on lap 57 on that last pit stop and went out 3rd. Just a tiny little hang-up on the right front tire. But Mike Beam has told him, you have got the better truck here. We're good enough to win. Let's move up there and go after Rowdy.
21 laps of racing remaining here in Michigan. Again, Brendan Gaughan looking to the high side of Travis Kvapil.
Yeah, Travis was able to clear Brendan, pull up in front of him, and block his advance. Travis better stay right at the very top of the racetrack because that's where Brendan's going to be.
Well, but Brendan right now has his hands full with Ted Musgrave, who's running on the inside of him.
And he's going to have that for a few laps, Rick. It's just the reason why is because the new tire, the colder tires, the tires that you roll around under caution with aren't as good up high as the guys on the bottom. Look at these guys battling for 10th or 15th.
There's racing all over the racetrack. That's the 50 of TJ Bell, the 59 of Terry Cook, making his 250th career start. There's Aaron Fike in the 1, Jason White in the 7, and Ryan Matthews in the 36.
A lot of trucks in the mid of this pack. And then you also have the battle up front.
Brendan needs for this race to go green. His truck runs better on the long run when these guys can't use those cold tires on the bottom of the racetrack.
Again, Travis Kvapil is still chasing Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch has got a pretty good lead. Jack Sprague just hit the wall and slows on the racetrack.
The caution comes out just when Phil was saying Brendan needed the green to stay out. It looked like that Jack had a right front tire. Right front tire go flat on that 60 truck, and he got down into turn 3.
Yeah, I looked over in turn 3, and he had already slowed down. He realized he had a flat tire, and then the truck took off, and he hit the outside wall. It's either good or bad for Jack. No in between.
But lately it's been looking bad. Big wreck at Texas.
Be careful, Jack. Try not to tear at the fender. Don't have to. Guys, get ready just in case we tear the fender up.
And what is crew chief's talking about there? The tire will blow apart and tear that fender all to heck. But let me tell you, Phil, that thing hit hard enough. I believe they've got other issues.
I think so too. Yeah, that wasn't just a minor scrape. He hit it pretty hard.
Now they're moving around the racetrack at 65 miles an hour. So if a tire does start to shred and tear off, that's where all the damage comes on the truck.
There we are. That's our lead battle. Watch Jack. He makes contact with the wall coming off turn 2. That's probably what happened. You see the smoke right there. He's got a serious tire rub. When he gets down to turn number 3, that tire is going to go away. That's why when I looked over and he was running slow, watch. When he gets down there, all of a sudden, that truck's going to take off. There the tire goes down and into the outside wall he goes.
Yeah, hindsight, he wished he'd have probably slowed it down a little bit more when he got to turn 3 and kept it out of the fence for the second time. He hit it pretty good off, too, though.
Yeah, he did. We could see the smoke. He definitely had a serious tire rub, and there's the carcass of the tire.
Pits are open. Pits are open.
Here now the pits are open this time, so we'll see Jack Sprague make his way onto pit road. Should see the field stay out, though, on the racetrack, as we've got just 19 laps of racing remaining.
We just had a handful of trucks pit on that last caution flag towards the end of the lead lap trucks. Nobody really running up in the top 20 positions made their way down pit road.
Check it out. Aaron's lucky dog to Jason White.
He was running with some good trucks there. He deserves that, Aaron's lucky dog.
Yeah, he's been competitive all day.
And they just give it away.
They do. That's just the way Aaron's rolls. Ray?
Well, it's a lot of work just to get the truck jacked up, to get it up in the air. They've done that, and they've got a bit of damage on the right front fender there. They will pull those right side tires off. They're taking a look to see underneath if they need to do anything additional to this Conway Toyota. And they're going to get right side tires on it and send Sprague back to the track. Guys?
Well, thank you, Ray. The fourth caution of the day comes out as Jack Sprague hits the wall coming out of turn 2 and then right back into the wall in turn 3 when the right front tire goes away. Kyle Busch still leads at Michigan. Great crowd on hand here at the Michigan International Speedway for the 10th race of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series season. Brooklyn, Michigan. The cloud cover has actually come over the racetrack now. Actually, the first clouds I think we've seen all weekend.
Yeah, we got here Thursday afternoon, and these are definitely the first clouds that we've seen, but we're getting ready to have a restart here.
And Kyle Busch needed a little cloud cover, and he ran his fastest lap of the race just before this caution. Bill, and he had 20 laps on his tires. Maybe the cloud cover has tightened that truck up just enough where he's going to be able to hold these guys off.
And cooled off the racetrack enough to get a little grip back.
Green flag comes out. 16 laps of racing to go. It is Kyle Busch in front of Travis Kvapil, Brendan Gaughan, Ted Musgrave, and Mike Skinner, your top 5.
You know, also, Kyle Busch is auditioning for a job.
Yeah,
that was some of that minor news that was announced this week in the NASCAR world.
It's pretty cool when you can get your name in the news with Dale Jr. because everybody's going to talk about you. Now, it's not so cool that it happened the way it did to Kyle, but he obviously has a lot of reasons to go out and try to beat this very talented field today.
Kyle Busch running the middle of the track. Brendan Gaughan has been extremely fast right up next to the wall. And Travis Kvapil's been able to run pretty much anywhere on the racetrack.
This is going to be a great finish. These guys they've all got good trucks, and they all work in different places on the racetrack field. So they're going to just fool around, find their best line, and hope they play their cards at the right time.
Look at Ted Musgrave on the inside. Going to try to pull up beside Brendan Gaughan. Not quite able to do it this time. You know, it almost looked like the cloud cover has slowed Brendan down a little bit. Looks like his truck was the best truck on the racetrack 2 cautions ago, but now we've got a little cooler conditions, and he doesn't appear to be as good.
The other thing we've got to remember, though, Brendan Gaughan came in and only got 2 tires. Now, is that going to bite him toward the end of this race?
It'll definitely give up grip more as time goes forward, but he's had a lot of caution laps. You can see right there, he got a great run off turn 4. He's just waiting to when these guys have to let off more and more to run the bottom of the racetrack, and he can leave his foot on the floor and run that high side. You can see a good run through the turn here, but Travis has still got a lot of gas to his truck in the middle of the road. As he starts to have to back off that gas to get that truck to turn, then that's when Brendan's going to shine.
Look at Ted Musgrave all over the back bumper of Gaughan. Another driver that we haven't talked a lot about, Crawford's teammate, the 10 of David Starr, has broken into the top 10. Adam?
And it's the second consecutive week this team has enjoyed success, Rick. Hard to believe as good as David Starr has been over the years in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. It took him to last week in Texas to get his first top 5 of 2007. But it was so good last week, they brought the same truck here to Michigan this week, and similar results. David Starr in the top 10 again. This team catching some momentum at a perfect time in the 2007 campaign.
So David Starr holding on to a top 10 position. It's Kyle Busch that everyone is chasing around Michigan International Speedway. Is there enough time for Brendan Gaughan to make the high line work? We're going to find out when we come back. Hey, let's take a look at today's Stay in the Game with Just for Men moment. Couple pit road incidences. Bam, right there. That young crew member getting his arm caught by the spoiler on the back of the truck. And then the jack having problems here. Truck falling off the jack. Luckily, they wear helmets on pit road.
They stayed in the game, though, didn't they?
They sure did. Those 2 crew members staying in the game. Stay in the game with Just for Men hair color. Another guy trying to stay in the game is Travis Kvapil. The game being led by that 51 of Kyle Busch. He still looks loose.
He's getting loose again.
That's because the tires are heating up.
Yeah, he needs another caution flag to cool off those tires. Travis Kvapil was 0.3 of a second faster than Kyle that lap, and he's going to be at least that much this lap if he doesn't take the lead.
And I think there was something, I don't know if a crew chief told him or something, but Just 2 laps ago, Ted Musgrave was all over Travis Kvapil, and Kvapil looked like he said, hey, wait a minute, I got to go. The race is about over.
No, that truck, that 51 truck is backed up to these guys, and what happened to Musgrave is he got tight coming off turn 2. He just gave up the front end of his truck coming off turn 2, but Kyle Busch is a sitting duck. Now, do you see him working that wheel, Phil?
Yeah, he is big time loose right now, just as he's been this entire race, but he is trying to drive the wheels off that thing. You can see him wiggling as he drives through the corner.
Side by side, this is for the lead. Kyle Busch on the outside. Travis Kvapil on the inside.
Coming back to 6 to go. Getting late. These guys racing side by side have allowed Mike Skinner, Brendan Gaughan, and Musgrave to start closing it up. Big group behind these two, Phil.
Travis knows the sense of urgency. He needs to get by that 51 truck in case the caution flag comes out. He knows if Kyle's able to cool his tires off, he probably wouldn't beat him on a shootout.
And while they run side by side, look who comes back in the picture. It's Brendan Gaughan in that South Point Chevrolet.
Now his truck's working like he wants it, Rick. We've run enough laps where that high side, he's able to leave that gas down. Ray, that 51 truck is scaring me. He's loose.
Well, I'll tell you, Michael, I've got a nomination for a runner-up on that Just for Men staying in the game. How about the pit crew for Kyle Busch today? This is a mix mash of guys, and from week to week, you never know for sure who's going to be pitting him. But he's got guys from all different teams down here, and they have kept him in this game today. They've pitted 3 times today, and each time brought him out in the top 5. So they've kept him in this race with a mix mash back pit crew.
He's got a heck of a battle on his hands, too. He's got that 6 of Travis Kvapil all over him.
Brendan Gaughan in that 3rd spot was the fastest truck on the track the lap before that.
And
now,
Mike Skinner's all over him.
Skinner's looking to the inside, trying to make the move down low. Can he clear him?
It looks like he had him cleared from when he does have him cleared. Mike Swaim, his spotter, is going to tell him clear.
Mike Skinner takes over the 3rd spot now. Brendan Gaughan drops back to 4th. It's Kyle Busch, Travis Kvapil, Skinner, Gaughan, and Ted Musgrave in the 5th spot.
Kyle Busch continues to run right out next to the wall with that loose truck. Travis is trying all he can to get by him.
Right side of your screen, that's Ron Hornaday. He has fought back from that tire situation or that wheel situation into a top 10 run. He's running 10th right now.
That time when they crossed the start-finish line, just 4 laps of racing to go. It was 25 1/1000ths of a second that separated Travis Kvapil and Kyle Busch.
Look at Kyle sideways again coming off that corner.
He is driving, literally driving the wheels off of this race truck, trying to hold on to the lead.
Or the tires, anyway.
Yeah.
Let's see where Travis goes. Follows him down to the middle of the racetrack this time.
Michael, he's running out of time. We've only got 3 laps to go when we get to the start-finish line.
And he's watching Kyle Busch wiggle, and he's thinking, just wiggle a little bit more and I'll have you.
Amazing how sideways we see that 51 of Kyle Busch get. And then the battle for 3rd on the right of our screen between Skinner and the 77 of Brendan Gaughan.
You know, people ask all the time, what's more important, drive or equipment? Well, you have to have something good to drive, but I'm telling you, the job Kyle Busch has done right now, keeping that truck out front, he is driving that thing.
But he's running out of laps are running down, and Travis is running out of options. I'll be interested to see how aggressive Travis gets here in these last couple laps. You know, when a truck is loose like Kyle is, you get a little bit close to him, it's going to make him looser yet.
You know, Kyle Busch running out in front of this field, this would be a different winner here at Texas. Now, Travis Kvapil has won before at this racetrack. Brendan Gaughan back by Mike Skinner, so Gaughan back up into the top 3.
And there goes Musgrave on the inside of Skinner, going for the 4th spot. Look at them, all 5 right in a wad.
Travis Kvapil last week was just in front of Todd Bodine. Travis Kvapil, not the fastest truck. Bodine was able to get by him, but it was after moving Kvapil out of the way. Well, now Travis Kvapil sees a very loose Kyle Busch in front of him. That could possibly mean, hey, I'm going to get right up on you. I know you're loose already. You may end up moving out of the way for me.
He has got some options. He knows he's got a loose guy in front of him. He knows that he can maybe get this run here, Phil, coming to the checker and hold off Kyle. Maybe this is a prelude to what we're going to see on the last lap. He makes the pass.
He clears him. Coming down for the white flag.
Everyone on their feet here in Michigan. Travis Kvapil's just made the pass. 2 miles to go.
Let's see where Kyle's going to try to fight back. He's going to the high side. Look at Travis Kvapil. Kyle's not giving up, though.
And also, Phil, Kvapil in front of Kyle will tighten up that truck for Kyle Busch. He'll be able to get some of that air off the nose, more onto the spoiler, and maybe make a run coming off 4.
Side by side for 3rd. Skinner on the inside. Brendan Gaughan on the outside. Out in front, it's Travis Kvapil, Kyle Busch, working their way out of turns 3 and 4. Travis Kvapil has 4 truck lengths over Kyle Busch, and Kvapil will win at Michigan.
Great battle for third. Who's going to win that battle for third?
It looked like Brendan Gaughan came across the stripe just in front of Skinner, then Musgrave, Crawford, Bodine, Harvick, Benson, your top 9, and Hornaday, an amazing comeback in the top 10.
Thank you so much, guys. Awesome race truck. Thank you, Jack Roush. Thank you.
That's patience, Rick. He sat behind Kyle Busch. He didn't force the issue. He tried to feel out what was going to happen as the race wound down, and he made a move with 2 to go.
And I just saved it to one I do.
How about that? I saved it until
I didn't want to go too early on him.
I knew I had it. Brendan Gaughan coming by congratulating our 2003 Craftsman Truck Series champion. Take a look at this. This is Jack Roush as Travis Kvapil comes by for the white flag. How about that owner?
That's a guy that's won here 14 times in all 3 major series. Let's make that 15 times.
He just added another one to his resume. And Travis Kvapil just puts his 6th career win in the books in just his 106th NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series start. Ray Dunlap.
Well, let's hear from Mike Bean, win number 7. You told Travis after he went out 3rd on that last pit stop that you had a good enough truck to do it, and he did it.
Yeah, you know, we've struggled all year. You know, this team's really felt like we let Travis down and Jack, you know, and just we worked really hard. Everybody at the shop, Bobby Hudson and, you know, Don Stern, all these guys, you know, I've been pretty hard on them. You know, and I knew Travis could do this. You know, we've got all the confidence in him, and, you know, George Gable and all the motor guys, you know, we had some heat, you know, and just, it's good. I mean, you know, it's just good to win here for Jack at Michigan because, you know, they've been putting the heat on me. You know, if we're going to do it, you know, it's our Daytona 500 here in front of, you know, all the manufacturers, and I just can't say enough. You know, was blessed today, and, you know, everything went our way.
All right, we'll go join Victory Lane. That's Mike Beam. He gets win number 7, and Travis Kvapil gets another win. This one comes in chassis 43, a truck that Mark Martin won a lot of races in a year ago.
7th different winner of the 2007 season, and I think an amazing thing we've got to point out is we've had a lot of Cup drivers that have come into the Truck Series and tried to run some races. Not one of them has won a race in 2007.
There's our fast and all fast finish. Travis Kvapil takes the win over Kyle Busch at Michigan.
Welcome back to Michigan International Speedway. It's the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series post-race show. We go to Victory Lane. Ray Dunlap.
All right, well, Travis Kvapil is ready to climb out of this K&N Ford, and I'll tell you what, you heard him on the radio. He said, I didn't want to go too soon. 2 victories at Michigan right at the very end. You knew you had an awfully good truck.
Man, what a great K&N team. Everybody at Roush Fenway just gave me super race trucks over the last couple of weeks, and especially the last month or so. And I knew I was a little better than Kyle, but I just didn't want to get out there too soon. The draft played such a big role, and you know, I had to pick the right time to get around Kyle, but I was trying to hold off the 77, the 5, the 9, all those guys behind me. But just got to thank K&N and Ford and Jack Roush and Roush Fenway Racing. I got to say, I know I had an extra angel ride with me today. Jim Pearson, a great friend of mine. He helped me get started in racing, and he passed away Monday, so this one's for Jimmy.
I'll tell you what, Travis, this has got to be a racetrack that's so much fun for a driver. We saw 3-ride racing out there all day today. You could go to the high side, the low side, anywhere you wanted to.
Yeah, it's amazing. Everybody, all the race car drivers love to come to a place like Michigan like this. I saw Skinner on the bottom. My truck really liked the bottom. Or the middle. I found the way up top in 1 and 2 was good, and then the middle 3 and 4 was good for me. So you just had to search around and find that groove in the racetrack. But again, I just got to thank Ford and Jack Roush and K&N for helping me. Coca-Cola, Valvoline, everybody involved in putting this deal together. I'm just so excited.
Congratulations! He's got his 2nd win here at Michigan. He brought Toyota there first, and now he's got Ford back to Victory Lane here at MIS. Adam.
Place finish for Kyle Busch here today, but I know you came here to win. What was the difference at the end, Kyle?
Just being too loose all day, you know, just couldn't ever get the rear of the back of the truck under me, and just, you know, real sideways off the corners. I could never put the throttle down and exit the corner, but, you know, solid effort by these guys. I appreciate their support and, you know, helping me out and run the Truck Series, and thanks to all the fans here and at home for supporting the Truck Series, and hopefully we can come back and try to get Chevrolet another win one of these days.
How much were you searching around on the track trying to help the handling of the truck?
Well, I was all over the place. I was to the middle, bottom, to the top, and everywhere, so I just couldn't ever find anywhere that would let me get a good run off the corner. I was just always too loose.
Kyle Busch, runner-up today here at Michigan.
Kyle Busch with a strong truck today, but as he mentioned, a little bit too loose. Jack Roush, 9 Cup wins on this racetrack, 3 Busch Series wins on this racetrack, and now 3 NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series wins. 15 wins for Roush Fenway here at Michigan International Speedway. It's the Michigan 200. Your winner is Travis Kvapil.